Ever just feel on edge for no reason? Like nothing's actually wrong, but your thoughts are racing, and it's like your brain just won't chill. That's anxiety. And the tricky part is, most of us don't even realize how much we're carrying it around until we stop for a second and feel it hit. In this video, we're breaking it down. What anxiety really is, why it shows up, how to spot it before it takes over, and how to stop letting it run the show, because the goal isn't to be fearless. It's to be free. Here's something most people don't realize. Fear and anxiety, they're not the same thing. Fear is clear. There's a threat and your body reacts. But anxiety? Anxiety is like fear's shadow. It shows up when there's no clear danger, just the possibility of something going wrong. It's your mind spinning stories. What if I mess up? What if they judge me? What if everything falls apart? And the thing is, your body doesn't know the difference. It reacts the same way. That's why anxiety feels so physical, even when it's all happening in your head. At its core, anxiety is basically a future-oriented emotional state involving apprehension, tension, or unease. Unlike fear, which is usually about something immediate and specific, anxiety is often more vague and anticipatory. It's the what-if feeling. As one source puts it, anxiety is the mind rehearsing danger in a world where the danger hasn't arrived. Anxiety is a feeling, like when you are feeling restless, like you need to escape, but you're not sure from what. A sense of doom with no clear reason why. Worry looping on repeat, analysing every scenario. Tired but wired. Exhausted but unable to relax. Dreading something, but you don't know what. Feeling unsafe, even in safe places. Constantly on edge, like something bad is about to happen. It's physical, mental, and emotional. All at once. It's like you're bracing for impact all the time. Experiencing anxiety can do a lot to a person. The effects of anxiety manifest in many forms. It can change how you relate to others. You might withdraw even from people you love, or feel like you're too much for others. You might lash out, not from anger, but from overwhelm, or overplease, over-apologize, or over-explain. You might feel misunderstood, isolated, or ashamed. It can distort your sense of identity. It makes the world feel big and threatening, even when it's not. It makes you feel small, even when you're capable, that you're weak or broken. It can even inhabit the body. Muscles stay tense. You might feel dizzy, nauseous, or just off. Sleep becomes harder, either too much or too little. Anxiety tells your nervous system, be ready. You're not safe, even when you are. But what you should mainly remember is anxiety is not your identity. It's an experience, not a definition. Even some of the most accomplished, admired people are not immune to it. Consider Ryan Reynolds. The actor has stated, "I've had anxiety my whole life. Sometimes I'm racked with it. I've got to work to control it." He uses humour and performance to manage it. Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian, openly talked about his anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts, and now advocates for mental health awareness. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th US president, experienced intense anxiety and depression, with friends describing episodes of deep melancholy. Beyoncé gets nervous before big performances and has experienced deep burnout and emotional stress from overworking. Anxiety can come from many directions, and it's often a mix of causes: biological, psychological, environmental, and even spiritual. Biological. Anxiety disorders may run in families due to inherited traits. Family environment. Growing up in a household with constant conflict, overprotectiveness, neglect, or unpredictability can create an anxious attachment. Personality traits. Perfectionism, people-pleasing, high sensitivity, neuroticism, and a need for control can make people more vulnerable. Major life changes. Divorce, moving, job loss, or even positive changes like getting married can trigger anxiety. Internal factors. Low self-esteem, catastrophizing, overthinking, black and white thinking, and unresolved trauma. Chronic stress. Ongoing pressure from work, school, caregiving, or financial issues. Physiological contributors. Poor diet, low magnesium, B vitamins, omega-3s, blood sugar instability. Medication side effects, substance use or withdrawal. Sleep deprivation, and lack of physical activity. Situational trigger-based causes. Social situations, phobias, or performance pressure. Spiritual or existential causes. Loss of meaning or purpose, fear of death or the unknown, and disconnection from self. Often, anxiety is not caused by just one thing, but a feedback loop of multiple factors. Realizing it is anxiety that you're dealing with is one of the most important steps toward freedom. 1. It puts a name to the monster. When you don't know what you're facing, everything feels bigger, scarier, and personal. Once you name it, this is anxiety, it becomes something separate from you. It's the difference between drowning in chaos and realizing you're in a storm. And storms can be survived. 2. You regain control. Before recognizing it's anxiety, you might think, "Why am I like this?" or "Something's wrong with me." When you realize it's anxiety, you shift from shame to strategy. You go from being trapped in the feeling to knowing, this is a known thing. There are tools. I can manage this. 3. It breaks the loop of misinterpretation. Anxiety often mimics other problems like physical illness or personality flaws. If you don't recognize it, you blame yourself instead of helping yourself, which creates more anxiety. Naming it breaks the loop. You can't ask for help for something you don't recognize. Once you say, "I think I have anxiety," you find language to talk to others, feel less isolated, and discover tools, people, communities, and resources. It stops being this vague inner hell and becomes a shared human experience. 5. You start finding the root. When you know it's anxiety, you can ask, "What's triggering this? Is it old trauma, burnout, people-pleasing? Am I out of alignment with my life?" Recognition leads to curiosity, and curiosity leads to healing. When you understand the full toolkit, you can create your own custom path to healing. Some key categories of tools include somatic and body-based techniques, breathwork like box breathing or 4-7-8 breathing, grounding techniques like the 5-4-3-2-1 method, movement, yoga, walking, and progressive muscle relaxation. Lifestyle shifts, prioritizing sleep hygiene, balanced nutrition, spending time in nature, and limiting stimulation. Spiritual, existential, inner work. Mindfulness and meditation, radical acceptance, spiritual connection, and inner child work. Creative outlets. Engaging in creative expression like painting, singing, or writing, or exploring art or drama therapy. Relational support. Talking it out with trusted friends, attachment healing in safe relationships, and boundary work. Mental strategies. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to identify and challenge distorted thoughts, journaling, thought labeling, and psychoeducation about how anxiety works. 23 to 25. Philosophical reframes. Reading works that shift your relationship with anxiety and reinterpreting sensations, e.g., this is energy instead of this is panic. It's important to note that sometimes anxiety symptoms can be triggered by underlying medical issues like thyroid imbalances or nutritional deficiencies, so checking with a doctor is worthwhile if anxiety is sudden or intense. If you're living with anxiety, know this first. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not alone. Anxiety isn't who you are. It's a response, a signal. Something in you is asking for care, not criticism. Anxiety doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means your system's been running on high alert for too long. And that's okay. It happens. You don't have to fix everything today. Start where you are. One breath, one choice, one honest conversation at a time. You're stronger than this moment feels. You've made it through hard things before, and you will again. Anxiety can feel like a wall, but often it's a door, one that opens when you start meeting yourself with compassion.